now to talk about more tonal whiplash from what people are saying, and that's Death Note. Netflix's recent live-action adaptation of Death Note. And on one hand, I can definitely say I'm glad Netflix... I can understand why Netflix would want to jump at the gun at this adaptation, since, Death Note's on Netflix, and, it's been really popular, I guess, as of late, although I haven't really checked. Anyway, so this movie, I wasn't really looking forward to it, to be honest. I'm not really that much of an Adam Wingard fan, in terms of, his previous films, like You're Next. Although I did like his segment from ABCs of Death. I thought that was good. So with him doing this Death Note movie, there are some things that, like I said, let me just say right now, I'm not a big Death Note expert. I've only just recently been starting the anime, so I've only got a beginner's feel of what the show is like at the start. And with this movie, there is a significant difference in tone by a long shot. I guess I should start with some of the big negatives. I really do think that the whole well, actually, I should say what I thought overall before I get into why. I thought the film was lackluster, but I thought overall it was okay. I didn't love this as much as I did Ghost in the Shell, but it's because a lot of people have been saying that this is just as bad, if not worse, than Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't think so. Because Dragon Ball Evolution had nothing redeemable about it from what I saw. There wasn't really... It felt like nobody was actually trying to make a movie there, because nobody gave a crap about it. But you can definitely see from Death Note that there are some people who have actually seen the show and want to try their best to make something that not only is faithful but stands out on their own. And even the creators have even said that they enjoyed the film. So so I just tried to look at this film on its own, and there are some interesting things that I do like about it. For one, I thought Ryuk, how they portrayed Ryuk in this movie, I thought that was pretty good. What's the guy? I know they had two people. Jason Lyles? Is that how you say his name? He did the body motion capture work for Ryuk, and I thought he really got those gestures down pretty well. And Willem Dafoe, I thought, was actually a really good choice of voice for Ryuk. Or at least in terms of this film, it definitely fits it really nicely. And I look at this and I think, man, they should have done that for his Green Goblin as opposed to the Power Rangers mask. But I digress. What else I was gonna bring up? I thought Ryuk was good. I will appreciate this. I'm glad Netflix decided to release this, because it allowed them to just go full on out with the violence and cursing. The kills in this are really damn good. I will say that. and a lot of people have actually said that too. That even people who don't like it said like, yeah, at least the kills were good. They really fit the creative style that it really added to that. The creative style, like it's not just like, oh, here's a heart attack, but it's like, no, it's decapitation by these Final Destination style deaths, or it just basically just writes down, yeah, he jumped off a building, or what was it? He died, but he says the words "dealer's choice." So I thought that was kind of creative. Um, the guy who played L in this movie, what was his name? Give me a second. Uh, Lakeith Stanfield, I believe that's how you say his name. Uh, yeah, I really gotta commend this guy for, like, I know they did change the ethnicities, especially when they tried to make it take place in America as opposed to Japan. But I think Lakeith Stanfield, he really, really did a good job with his performances out. Even though he tries to do as minimal as possible, at least in the first half of this film, up until like the third act, he really does capture. He really does bring a lot to it by trying to keep himself as minimalized as possible, like in terms of like his movements and his showing his facial features. That was pretty good. I guess I also thought it was kind of an interesting thing to do when it came to, like, just making it sort of a 1980s suspense horror film. It was an interesting choice of tone, but I thought it kind of worked in its way for what it does. Yeah, it's like I probably would have enjoyed the film a little bit more if not only was there a little bit more of Ryuk or L, but mostly my main problem just stems from the main plot of our main characters in the movie. Like Light and Misa. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm forgetting names today, aren't I? Margaret Qualley, but where the fuck have I seen her before? Oh, she was Amelia in the. So apparently news to me. I completely did not recognize that Misa was played by Amelia, the missing girl from The Nice Guys. Thought she looked familiar. Yeah. But going back to what I was said, I thought Light and Misa. I don't think they were miscast, although that could be it. But I think just whole trying to make Light and Misa this teenage rom-com about homicidal tendencies. It's just, it doesn't, I don't know, it kind of doesn't blend well with the other story that it's trying to tell. Like, it's not as bad as it's definitely not as bad as with Dragon Ball Evolution, when they basically turned Goku and Chi-Chi into Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson. It's not that bad. But it definitely has... it definitely doesn't really fit well with the story, or at least the tone the rest of the movie is trying to get across. I don't know, maybe it could have been a rewrite, or maybe it could have been like a miscast or something. Like, Honestly, if I had to pick someone other than Nat Wolff to play Kira, I probably would have picked Dane DeHaan. And it's not because he played the Green Goblin in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I honestly do feel like Dane DeHaan can deliver that kind of sinister, young, evil genius kind of persona that Light would have. Um, I mean, it was an interesting idea to try, to try and do something different. Like, okay, what if instead of an evil high school genius, it's just this mopey kid? Um, I don't know. I just like, granted, I don't know. On the plus side, it's on streaming, so if you're curious to check it out, I'd say give it a watch. I mean, it's not like you're losing anything out of it. It's on streaming, so what can you do? Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's all I gotta say about it. I might talk a little bit more about this in written form for Halloween, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's all I gotta say about Death Note.